Hey, it's Brook. I got a new idea going for students. It's time to revive the legend of the major scale, which can be controversial. A lot of people don't really want to put in the time to learn the major scale, and there would be 12 of them in music of the Western Hemisphere. Let's just dig right into a C major. Really important stuff. This is the root, the 1. It's a C. 2 is D. 3 is E. 4 is F. 5 is G, open string. 6 is A. 7 is B string. And the octave is C. First fret, second string. So that was our scale, which sounds like this. And remember, the intervals of the scale are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the notes are C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. You can also do them on one string if it's easier to see that. C, whole step to D, whole step to E, half step to F, whole step to G, whole step to A, whole step to B, half step to C. Let's do it backwards from high C to B, half step, whole step to A, whole step to G, whole step to F, half step to E, whole step to D, and back to C. So that's on one string. You can also do it on this string. You can really do it all over the neck, which actually is very fun to figure out. I won't go there quite yet, but what you need to be able to do is hear that and maybe associate a chord with it, like a C chord. You could throw in a G, maybe A minor. Here's a F. That sounds pretty good. Throw a few chords in there. Your 3 chords of the key of C would be C, F, and G7. Back to C. If you wanted to put some chords in, that would be a little reference point. But let's get back to that scale. Remember, the scale does not have to start and end on C. Plus, you can skip a note here and there when you start to apply it. But for now, let's get kind of comfortable just going up the scale and down. One more time, the C major scale. With the open D, E, 2nd fret, 4th string, F, 3rd fret, 4th string, open G, 3rd string, same string, 2nd fret, A, 2nd string, open B, and C. We can go up and down. But like I was saying, we can go higher. So I went up to a G there. I went C, D, open E, F, G, F, E, D, C. And we can also go lower from this root C. It's good to hit the root and acknowledge the root and show that you understand the C is the root of the key. So it's good to listen for the root. You got 2 of them in this position. But let's take it lower. C, down to B, A, big G, big fat F, big fat low E. E is part of the C major scale and chord. It's the 3rd note in a C major scale that makes it part of the chord. So really it's your job to explore that scale and experiment going up and down the scale and just get used to it. I can't really come over to your house and make sure you're doing that. I'd like to, but mainly it's kind of your own responsibility to put in the time on your major scales. So let's do one more little fun thing. I know that's we can only take so much information at once, but just in case you already knew that, let me show you how to start constructing chords. Check this out. That's a I'm going to use this pattern. I'm going to make a chord off every one of those notes. The first one, C. Just part of the C chord. That's a root and a third. The second one, I'm just going to do a root and a minor third. That's a D and an F. 5th fret, 3rd fret. Part of a D minor chord. Then I'm going to go up to E minor, which is based at 7 and 5. So these first 3 chords, or let's take it higher. This is a 1, 2, 3. The 4 is F. 4th note in the key of C is F. This is 8th fret and 7th fret. Little major shape. So here's major, minor, minor, major. To another major, a G, at the 10th and 9th frets. Here's the 6th, the A. That's a minor, so it's gonna look like that. It's got the distance between the fingers versus major, they're close together. This is A minor. It's 12 and 10. That's an A plus a C. Okay, put them all together. This is the seventh degree of the scale. It's a B plus a D, which gives us a minor chord based at 14th fret and 12. 14, 12. Let's take it from, that's the 7th degree of the scale. We'll take it back down. B minor, A minor, G major, F major, E minor, D minor, C. To the octave, which is exactly like the root, only an octave higher. 8, octave, octagon. Because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 notes in the scale. You just got to know that. You just got to know, this may sound like kind of silly what we're doing. It sounds like a nursery rhyme. And that's exactly right. It sounds very simple and childlike. Very, very, very basic. But I like to say, what if you couldn't play it? Because you didn't understand it. Even though it is the foundation of music of the Western Hemisphere, which I say that several times a day. Let's add the 5th. So that's a root and a third. Root, third, root, third, root, third. Some are major, some are minor. Root, third, minor, minor, major. Now we add a 5th. Root, third, 5th. Root, third, 5th. Root, third, 5th. Those could be chords, or you could play them one at a time as like a phrase. So we're adding a 5th interval. kind of a lot to describe, but I think I can do it. This is a C, E, G. Here's a D, F, A, E, G, B, F, A, C, G, B, D, A, C, E. The B is got a flatted fifth, so it's a root. That's B. D is a flatted third. F is a flatted fifth. Because if the fifth was not flatted, it would be an F sharp. But that doesn't sound in key. But the reason this chord works, it's a B minor 7 flat 5. You got a root, flatted third, flatted fifth. That's a B, D, and an F. F sharp does not fit in the key. That's why we flat the fifth on the 7th chord of the major scale, which has a very dissonant quality because it's trying to resolve to the root or the octave. Yikes, that's I got a little bit of arthritis in my pinky, I think. Can't quite crunch that like I used to. Woohoo! Where's my whammy bar? Alright, I know this is kind of a drag. I've got to really pound this in a lot of my students' head. I love it. I love the sound of it. I love it when people understand it. Trust me, if you don't understand this, you got a big hole in your understanding of music. Friend, it's time to get serious. Let's see, what's happening? Not everything is minor or dominant seventh. A lot of things are major. And they can sound really heavy and weird and interesting. But if you can only play minor, you're kind of only... It's like you can only play at night. You can't play at daytime. So the major is a brighter sound. Minor is kind of a little more dark and mysterious. So I like to play morning, noon, and night. So I like all colors, flavors, shapes, textures of music. Plus, everything that you're going to describe, like chord construction or a chord progression, or melody, or note choices, are all going to be related to the major scale. So if you skip this major scale business, like most of you will, you'll just be kind of mystified by when people say, hey, it's a 1-4-5, or flat the third, make a minor, or raise the third and make it a suspended fourth. Chord progressions, chord formulas, you're just not going to know what people are talking about. Intervals, like our harmony, like let's say singers, one might sing a root, the other singer sings a third, the other sings a fifth. Root, third, fifth. If you can't do that, that's too bad. So I'm trying to help you. All you got to do is work on that major scale. Go up and down the major scale and listen. Go kind of slow and listen very hard to the sound. Get that sound down. Get it in your fingers. Get the muscle memory down. That's key C. We're going to be hitting some other keys coming up. Well, you want to be able to play in all 12 keys and play well. Not just a little tiny bit of one key written down up and down the scale. That's a start. But you got to push it and take it to where it's really sounding musical and not just up and down a scale. That's where it sounds boring, up and down the scale. But it's necessary to do it so that you can get looser and more expressive and creative in a short while. So stick with it, up and down the scale for now, and thanks for watching.